Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Derek Jeter. No, just kidding. My name is Shawn Weinstein, and I want to welcome Indiana University's Sports Industry Careers course. I also want to thank you for spending the next 15 to 20 minutes of your time here with me. And I want to thank Alex Novak for inviting me here to be a part of her course. I've known Alex for quite some time, and she's very knowledgeable about the sports industry. She knows a lot of people, and you guys are in great hands. Just to give you a little background and a little context of why my story is relevant to your course, is I've been in the sports world in different capacities for quite some time. I've been a player, I've worked on air, and now I work for the National Basketball Association from a business side. Growing up in Los Angeles, California, and playing high school basketball there, I was fortunate enough to have some decent stats, which led to me being recruited by various schools across the nation. I ended up netting out and going to San Diego State University for a year and a half. After that year and a half, I transferred to a Division II school in Austin, Texas called St. Edward's University. At St. Edward's University, we had a great run, 3 conference championships. I was fortunate enough to win the Heartland Conference MVP, which then led to me being recruited on an international basis to play professionally after my college career was done. From my time in college to training afterwards to now being recruited by various teams globally, I ended up signing with a team in Israel called Maccabi Netanya. I spent 2 years there with them. From there, I had an offer to play in the Philippine Basketball Association, and I lived in Manila for 5 years. While playing, I co-founded a PR and events company, and did some on-air work and did play-by-play for the Philippine Basketball Association's games. Actually called Manny Pacquiao's games a few times, which was very cool. And then I decided to leave Manila in 2015, come back to Los Angeles, where I worked as a private business advisor, and then was offered a job with the National Basketball Association, where I currently work. Jumping back to my initial time heading overseas, there were definitely some challenges and concerns on my part before going over there. Coming out of school at 21 years old, and now living in a foreign country, I traveled to various foreign countries growing up for basketball tournaments, but now I'm slated to actually go live in this country on a daily basis, and I'd only spoken to my agent on the phone. So I didn't know anyone. I didn't know what to expect. You can do as much research as you want, but until you're actually on the ground living in the day-to-day life, not knowing what your apartment's going to look like, not knowing if you're going to love the food on a daily basis, if you're going to be homesick and miss your parents, these are all things that pop into your mind, but things that you have to overcome if you want to be successful, and that you just put in the background and really channel what your goal is and strive to succeed in that. So a challenge going into a foreign country for me was I didn't know my teammates. I didn't know what my daily routine was going to be. I didn't know if I was going to get along with the coach, if the coach was going to like me, if I was going to play, if I was going to have the same role that I had in college, if there's established stars on the team, how would I fit and integrate with them? Luckily enough, I had some great mentors on the team, some great veteran players that really helped me acclimate to the environment. I was being invited to dinners, to events, to social functions, and in the back of my mind this whole time was this is an international component that I can add to my resume. I can develop my skill set. I can grow here as a person, and not only learn a about different cultures, but learn how I can apply this to whatever I wanted to do business-wise going forward. While I was in Manila and playing, I knew that, hey, look, I'm not LeBron James, I'm not Kobe Bryant. I'm going to have to do something else to prepare myself to be ready when my playing career ends. So that kind of sparked my interest and started gearing me to look for business ideas and business opportunities to get involved in while I was playing. And the thing that actually presented itself, and through some relationships I developed, was I'm going to start a PR company. And I partnered up with an individual who'd been in Manila her whole life, and who'd worked in the corporate world in Manila, who had worked with various celebrities in Manila. So she already had this knowledge of the market, and she knew that I had this professional experience as a player. And so we decided to team up and grow this company together. We started off very small with one client, actually two, if you include myself, because I did have sponsorships and endorsements at the time. And it was quite a challenge actually being a client of the company and actually being a co-founder of the company, running it business-wise. So we decided to push it forward and go all in. We actually grew our client list to 12. We teamed up and partnered and collaborated with some very, very notable celebrities in market. We threw events with the Shangri-La Hotel, with Sofitel Hotel, with Makati New World, and these are major hotels that we were able to go in as a boutique firm and do business with. And the reason I say that is, even though we were a small firm, we developed relationships, and that's what I want to talk to you guys here about today. It's about developing these relationships. These other businesses could have went to a number of other companies that have been around for years, but we were hungry, we were passionate, we were driven, and we developed these genuine relationships. We cared, and we wanted to provide a good product, and we wanted to do the best we could. And I think that's what the partners that we were doing business with, what they felt. And advice I have here for you guys today is, whether you're at an event, whether you're at a social function, whether it be in class, whether it be you're at a restaurant, whatever opportunities you can find, develop relationships. Go and introduce yourself, say hello, put a smile on your face, keep a positive attitude, because you never know how these relationships can forge into other opportunities. I mean, and mind you, these have to be genuine. These can't be, hey, I'm developing these relationships just to have a business goal in mind. But if you develop genuine relationships, and when time comes to do business, people want to share their advice, they want to share their experiences, and they'll be willing to help you in return. And a number of our clients were people that we developed these relationships with, that we knew for some time before we started the business. And once we did, they were ready to come to us because they knew what we stood for. They knew that we were good people, they knew that they could trust us, and they knew that we were going to give 110% in whatever we did. So while I did my PR, I also had the opportunity to work on camera and do play-by-play for the Philippine Basketball Association games, which was a tremendous experience. Going in and being able to go from playing to working on air was totally different, and it had a totally different set of challenges and a totally different set of opportunities. Having to come in and strategize and coming up with a game plan and knowing, all right, so now I'm live on air, I can't really make a mistake. If I do, then everyone's going to see it. But going in with a game plan and preparing, so now not only trying to get ahead of, kind of get ahead of the game of, all right, so this team, what are they going to try to execute? What is this team going to try to execute? How's this team been performing versus how this team has been performing, what's been the history of this team's success rate, and being able to incorporate that into a live game and think on the fly, and know that things are being thrown in different directions at you at any time, was a great experience and enabled me to grow my skill set to be able to do what I do now. And my thought process through all my experiences are, how can I grow my skill set? And I think that way to this day is from everyone I talk to, and asking their advice in their successes and failures, asking how they navigated their way to where they are now, and how they grew their skill set, and how can I apply that to what I'm trying to do and the goals I'm trying to reach. I think about that on a daily basis. How can I grow? How can I become better at what I do? How can I develop my skill set and bring more opportunities and improve and bring different aspects to the projects I work on. So now I work for the National Basketball Association. I am in content and programming, and it's been fantastic. I mean, being able to stay close to the game that I'm passionate about, being able to deal with basketball on a daily basis has been special for me, because I really think of this game as a true connector. Going overseas and studying international business in college, and studying business in college, and being able to live in these different countries and learn about these different cultures, it was all because of basketball. And it was all because of this sport that allowed me to connect with different people. No matter what language we spoke, no matter what color our skin was, no matter what our viewpoints were, no matter how we grew up, rich, poor, what foods we liked, it didn't matter. This one game of basketball gave us this common ground, this common connector that we could all relate to, and that we could all be passionate about, and that we could all strive for one common goal, and that was to win, and that was to create these relationships. And I always go back to this relationship thing, because spending a lot of time in all these different places, different countries, I have friends in different areas, in different industries, in different roles within sports, that I can now reach out to, that I can now greet their kids on their birthdays, and I can see what they're doing, what's new in their industries, and how their roles are changing job-wise. And it's just this common connector that brings us all together, which is very special. The biggest challenges, I would say, is stay in the best advice I have to give is stay in tune with the industry. Read as much as you can, know what's going on, know what's shifting, and it's okay if you don't know exactly what you want to do in sports as of now. If you don't know if you want to be on camera, if you want to work in stats, if you want to work in broadcasting, in photos, if you want to work in content programming, content strategy, if you want to work in basketball operations, and the list goes on. And these are different departments within the National Basketball Association, international programming, that I could keep naming off to you, content production, that have different job descriptions, but actually create a way for you to stay close to the game you love, whether it be basketball, football, baseball. They're out there, and it's just a matter of you being knowledgeable. So when you go in for your interview, know who the partners of the company are, know who you're talking to, and a little bit about their background if you can. Ask them questions, ask them about their successes, ask them about their failures, ask them what advice they have for someone new coming into the industry. Ask them if they don't have any advice for someone coming in new to the industry, ask them if they can connect you to someone else in a different department, and you can ask them questions about their role and how their roles are changing, or how their roles have evolved from when they first started. We have a number of people that work with us that have been at the company for over 20 years, and that says great things about the company. That says that people want to stay, and that people love the environment they work in, and they love the industry they work in. So be passionate about what you're doing. Ask questions, develop relationships. Don't be afraid to send out an email asking to chat for 10 to 15 minutes. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask and to grab coffee for 30 minutes and catch up. These are all important things in developing and growing as a professional, and these are things that you want to apply to your growth. And remember, everything has to be genuine. Keep a smile on your face, ask genuine questions, and remember people's names and remember their stories. So when you refer back to them, when you send that email, it's, oh, hey, Alex, how was your time at San Diego State? How was your time when you worked for the 49ers or when you worked for LAFC? What did you learn when you were with those groups? I mean, these are all important things, and these are all things that create a connection with you and that person when you're trying to develop these relationships. That I say, and maybe if you feel that oh, I don't want to reach out, I'm a little shy. The worst you're gonna get is no response or no, and then you keep moving and you keep pressing forward, and it's all about never giving up and reaching your goals. And as a player, and sometimes I go out and I wouldn't have a great game, but I'd have to put my shoes back on the next day and play again and have a short memory and go out and keep pushing and keep trying to grow and get better every day. And that's what you have to do, is you have to think, how can I get better every day? How can I improve every day? How can I grow every day? Whether it's reading a book, whether it's asking for advice, asking for a meeting, reading articles. There's a lot of outlets out there now that we have the digital capabilities to be able to log on our computer from our phone and check the trends in the industry and check the current storylines of the league you work for, or whatever it is that is relevant to your job or to your industry. There's a lot of opportunities, and I know that you guys are going to do great because you're taking this course because you have interest and you're passionate about growing and you're passionate about succeeding, and that's what it's about. And don't be afraid of change. And if you don't know what you want to do, like I mentioned before, change is okay. Just be knowledgeable in whatever it is you want to change in and whatever it is you want to go in, and be willing to give that 110% and to outwork everyone else. And definitely the last thing I want to end on here, and which is very important, and which kind of helped me, actually, which didn't kind of help me, which did help me playing, was teamwork. Be a team player. If you're new to a job or industry, go the extra mile. Ask how you can help. Ask how, even if it's not your direct project, ask if there's something that you can do to bring something new to the table, or if there's something that you can add value in, or if it's something that you can help to allow that other person jump into another part of that project, to actually give you guys a wider scope and to gain a higher rate of success. So again, don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I don't know if Alex wants to provide my email if you guys want to reach out and ask if you have any questions for me in particular. But I'm open here, and I'm open to answer questions for you guys. But I wish you all the best of luck. I want you guys to succeed and pursue your passions and really do well for yourself. So, Sports Industry and Careers class, Indiana University. Good luck in all that you do. Alex, thank you again for having me speak to the class here today. Enjoy your week. Keep a smile on your face, and I hope to connect with you guys soon. Thank you.